Yes. Hello and welcome to the Any Given Sunday Australia podcast. 2025 season is finally upon us. We're into the new digs. It could be the locker room. It could be the film room. We haven't quite decided on what we actually call in this place yet. Joining me on the brand new couches in this brand new place at Danny Webb, AGSAU. How are you, mate?
So good. I can't believe week one is finally here. The countdown is over. We will be watching real in-season game football this week.
That means something, and we're playing for points at Charlie Pick.
It's amazing how desperate we've been for the preseason games to mean something, like just to see actual football. But this is it. I've got to say, full credit to the boys. We put in a big preseason. We worked hard. We built a studio. We did all of our divisional previews. No one is more ready to cover this season than we are. I'm so excited to be doing it. And to sound cheesy like a real podcast, like and subscribe. I'm going to say it at the top so everyone hears it. Like, subscribe, share. We want as many people enjoying this season with us as possible.
Do feel like out of the three of us, I was the Michael Parsons on the bench eating cheese and getting a rub down. But we all worked very hard, and we're here. It's great. And footy's upon us, boys. Let's jump straight into it because week one's always an interesting one now that they're starting to throw in international games earlier in the season. So we're going to start with your boys Friday morning. Kickoffs at 10:20.
10:20 a.m. Melbourne time or Australian Eastern Standard Time if you want to go.
Yeah,
if you want to go
Seaboard time the other day. Well, that was
Seaboard time.
Australian Eastern Seaboard time. Cowboys at the Eagles now. The line is gone up since the recent Michael Parsons news. -8, you boys are the favourites.
Yeah, which is pretty understandable. Obviously, the Eagles being Super Bowl champs, they're playing at home. I think in history, the Super Bowl champs on their first game back, they're like 20-5, the winners. So like their chances are already in the favour. Hurts has never lost a week one. He's 4-0. Barkley dominated the Cowboys defense last year when they had Micah Parsons. Now he's gone. This is Dak's first game back since November 4th. There's just so many things going on here that like that line makes complete sense if the Eagles don't blow them out even further.
I think the line's too short, to be honest. Just the way that we just did or we've just had it come out, the NFC East, and not whether the only thing that can keep that line closer is if it's a shootout.
That's right. If the score is running up and both defenses are struggling, that is a chance. But it's, but you would say Matt Eberflus is taking over as DC of the Cowboys. I mentioned it last week. No one seemed to care as much as I did, but they've not been able to like actually practice knowing who was going to be there in the backfield, in the at linebacker on the line. So there's every chance that Cowboys defense is even worse than we expect. I don't expect the same from the Eagles, who I expect them to not miss a beat. They've got a new secondary, but I think they.
Well, it's the same secondary. They've just lost a little bit, really. Like you've still got the same cornerbacks there. You've had one come in, I think you said the guy you've drafted, but you've still got the same core people there.
Yeah, so like you're really looking at your Cooper DeJeans and your Quinion Mitchells from last year that both were rookies now going into their sophomore year, but they were rookies that played incredibly. Like one of them got a pick six in the Super Bowl game. They played better than first-year players last year, and now Cooper DeJean has actually been named a captain of the defense, which is incredible to be able to do that in your second year. But I like the fact that they're a young defense, and they're a young defense that all kind of believe in each other, and Vic Fangio can run at any defense anywhere. Victor can do it. So like if it is full of rookies and second-year players, but it's successful, does it matter?
Yeah, Vincenzo, I believe it is, Fangio.
Vincenzo Fangio.
But going back to the Cowboys, Dak actually came out and you never hear this very often said. It's been a distraction that, Michael Parsons been there but not doing anything.
Oh, of course. But
you never hear that, though.
You never do hear that, but that's just part of the well-oiled machine of the Dallas Cowboys. It's like nothing is by the book there. It's odd of Dak. It feels a bit like he's making an excuse for what's going to happen in the first week. A little bit is lowering some expectations as he leads them into to get punched in the mouth. He's got a new wide receiver with Pickens sort of adding a target for him. It'll help CD Lamb. Once again, that could help Dak Prescott. But on the other side of the ball, as exciting as the young players on your secondary are, there are some questions over the secondary at
Which
at the
makes
Cowboys
that's
as well.
that's where. But I think the question mark for the Eagles is the secondary, like just purely because you've lost people, and that's their only strength, the Cowboys. So that's where this makes it a little bit more interesting on Friday morning.
Yeah, but the Cowboys secondary did struggle last year. They really did. And I don't know if it was like...
yours didn't. That's what I'm saying. Yours is the weak point.
Oh, yes.
The only weak point in the Eagles is their secondary, and the Cowboys now have Pickens and CD Lamb, which could have a day out.
For sure, they could, but are we expecting Dak to come out there in week 1 where he's already trying to put doubts in people's head? You're expecting him to come out there and absolutely nail every single one of his targets, or is he going to hit like a 50% completion rate?
Yes.
But like, so that's where that's where the question really lies, though, doesn't it? It's just, can the Cowboys put away this distraction and actually go out there and compete, or this Super Bowl winning team that have already are talking about, if we don't get back to the Super Bowl and win next year, or is in this coming year, as a failure? Like their whole plan and target is to go out there and make it all the way again. And I think they're going to start out by coming, I'm going to take my Eagles hat off when I'm saying this, but they're going to come out really strong. And then we got my boy Saquon Barkley, who dominated against the Cowboys in the past. So you can just expect him to get a whole bunch of yards. AJ Brown as well. He loves week 1. Absolutely loves week 1. He's had 75 plus yards in 3 straight week 1 games. That is incredible.
Is that with your Eagles hat off?
No, that's just my first part of the statement was, then I put it back on. It was a quick helmet back
If your Eagles hat was on, it would just be a series of squawks. Like it's too much. But that's true. I mean, AJ Brown. I mean, it's a terrifying picture a little bit for the Cowboys. It's too much. It's just simply too much for them. And on top of that, Cowboys can't stop the run. They couldn't last year. It's not like they've magically added people that can stop the run. They've lost one guy who maybe could have helped them out a little bit. And it's like...
They have added Kenny Clark.
Yeah.
He's going to help, especially against the run. He will help. But
he's only just got there this week.
That's it. He's there this week. I don't even know if he's actually there yet. Like, it's still...
Yeah. Will he be able to just plug and play in and fill... He won't be able to fill Micah Parsons.
I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play because it's that. Where
close.
on the other side, you're saying Micah Parsons in the same thing, which we have heard that he's maybe nursing a bit of an injury. Grouse. I feel like coming off the edge, you can plug him in for 1 or 2 plays and then have a rest, where as a big tackle, you kind of got to be there for 90-95% of the play.
The last time these two teams played each other in a week 1 opener as well was all the way back in the year 2000. And it was a 41-14 Eagles win. My little hot take is the score could be very close to resembling that.
Whoa.
Actually, you know what? Let's go exactly that.
40.
I reckon we're going to have a complete rematch, 41-14.
It's a hot take out of the gate early. That is great.
We can't pick. Obviously, you can't pick. Winner?
Oh, Eagles.
By a big or a little margin?
A big margin, significant margin. I think that.
-8's not enough.
-8's
you
not
always
enough.
hope a divisional game's closer, but round 1 divisional is not close.
Yeah.
The international game coming in early Saturday morning, so Saturday morning our time, Australian Eastern Seaboard time. I believe it's about the same, about a 10:30 game. Could be wrong. But we've got the Chiefs technically at the Chargers, but it's in Sao Paulo.
Yeah, which we loved. The last year's Sao Paulo game was both our teams, was the Packers and Eagles, and they go out and they support these teams so well, and the stadiums are full, and it's really, really exciting. Like, we love seeing the game grow and go to international places, like how it's going to come to Australia in 2026, which we're all really looking forward to. So I actually quite like the international games. I know, like, maybe it doesn't necessarily count as a home game for the Chargers, but yeah, technically it is. The real question surrounding this to me is all around the Chiefs. Like, is Mahomes going to be back with his magic? We already know Rashid Rice has got a 6-game suspension due to his incident that he had in his vehicle. So he won't be playing for the first 6 games. So will the Chiefs be able to shake off the fact that they had that Super Bowl loss? They didn't get their 3-peat. Are they still going to be out there competing and like have their offense firing when they're not just winning by a 1-score game?
It is a big question. You've got Isaiah Pacheco coming back for the Chiefs, who that really helps their offense a lot, and possibly also takes a bit of pressure off Mahomes. And there's also a big question mark though over Travis Kelce. I mean, is he on a decline that we can all see with our eyes, or was last year or the last 2 years, really, a blip? Is he actually going to? Is it true that he was too distracted by Hollywood and now he's going to be focused on football? Or now that he's proposed to Taylor and he knows he's set for life, is he going to come back to anywhere near that form where he was that outlet for Mahomes? When Mahomes couldn't see anyone open, he was always there, where he ran routes that he would invent and he was impossible to stop.
But it was his yards after catch as well, which was like, it's something that he was very successful with. Not only was he running those routes and getting open, but then after that, he'd actually break tackles and make plays. Where in the past 2 years, if he was getting the ball, which he was rarely because he was slowing down a fair bit, he wasn't going anywhere. It was
He could get hit really quickly, yeah.
It was a catch and take a knee, essentially.
So the Chiefs have had the wood over the Chargers. They've kind of been the, older brother the last 7 times they've beaten them. I think it makes it a little bit different being in Sao Paulo, obviously, but the ground was a bit of an issue last year, if you remember. It was very slippery because I think it's more of a soccer field. So I just don't, what they've changed in the last 12 months, I'm not sure, but I remember Jordan Love went down and actually hurt his knee pretty badly, which kind of cost us for a few weeks. So I think that kind of evens it up a little bit, especially when the Chargers have such a good defense. So I don't think this is going to be it's not going to be a blowout.
No way.
This will be closer than the first game.
It's going to be a great game, I reckon, because the Chargers, like you said, coming off one of the best defenses last year, and then, with Harbaugh there, he's always going to have a defensive kind of like-minded and scheme. But then you've still got, your Justin Herbert. Like, we love watching Lad McConkey and what he can do.
Keenan Allen's back.
Yeah, Keenan Allen's just come back to the Chargers. Like, the Chargers should be a very exciting team to watch. And then we're comparing that to a Chiefs team that, we're only getting just past teams all of last season. Is there a year that they're finally going to drop one of the games to the Chargers?
I think this is prime for an upset.
Yeah.
Like
Chargers, the Chiefs are -3 favourites, so
yeah,
it's a close one.
It's close, but also it's exactly the kind of in-division game that they could lose. They don't know exactly what the Chargers are going to look like. The Chiefs scheme up about as well, as Steve Spagnuolo schemes up a defense about as well as anyone. They don't have a chance to do that in this first round. It is a real chance for the Chargers to get one up on the division rival. I think it's right there. Reporting out at the moment is Najee Harris is back from his fireworks-related eye injury, which is...
you need one eye to see. Just to show straight. Mate.
That's right. He's got no depth perception.
Nah, that's
but it's interesting. He has not... He's not taken the field, though. Like, there's been no reported... Like, he's been training on the side, but he hasn't done a lot of match play, but apparently ready to go, apparently feeling good. I hope he has a cane or something, like a white cane, like. But it's going to be interesting to see. But he also there's the rookie running back is Mario Hampton has joined the Chargers as well. So it's not all on Najee Harris to hit it. But I think that's going to be a problem for the Chiefs as well. This is a danger game for the Chiefs.
Huge.
But like also just to argue devil's advocate for that, the Chiefs had planned this three-peat. They made a whole documentary about it, like hoping that they were going to be the first team to ever do it, and then fell short against the Eagles. Go Birds. Then now are they going to come out even hungrier, being like, we want to be that dynasty team. We want everyone to go back to hating us because we were so successful. They like
good news. Everyone still hates them. They don't have to go back to everyone hating them. Everyone still hates them.
But like, we'll like give them a little spark and a little bit of fire, being like, I don't want to watch the confetti fall again and it not be our colour. And the best way to do that is by going out and winning week 1.
But that's the real test, isn't it? Like, are they a magical
That's
team?
why back-to-back is so hard.
Yeah, and is it Mahomes and Andy Reid? Can they alone turn this thing around and do that? I think it remains to be seen. I still think Andy Reid, you would take him as your head coach. If you had a
6 ways from Sunday.
yeah, absolutely, you would take him. But that's the big question. It's like everyone can say, "Oh, we learned a lesson last year by not three-peating." It's like, okay, heaps of teams have learned lessons from not three-peating and never fucking won another championship.
Yeah.
Like, everyone can say whatever they like. Prove it in Sao Paulo.
That's it. It does. It's obviously that little bit extra bang down there, but I am going to say that the Chargers are going to win.
I'm going to say the Chiefs are going to win and cover.
Chargers.
Yeah, I reckon there's an upset brewing. We go all the way to the Monday night, or Monday arvo for us, Sunday night football. It is an absolute cracker, and it involves your side, the Bills, or the Ravens at the Bills. It's not snowing yet, which I think makes a bit of a difference. You're 1.5 point favourites, Charles. We'll go to Danny first because I can see you licking your lips. Ready?
No. That's very reasonable.
I've actually got like quite an important point to make on this, and there's also like goes into the fact of why I love NFL. I think why we all love NFL so much is like week one games actually matter. And the reason I reckon this was going to matter is because this is going to have AFC championship implications. And we're only talking about week one. Whoever wins out of this game, out of the Ravens and the Bills, it almost could be the deciding factor who takes out that AFC and gets that bye in that first week.
At the very least, it's entirely possible they're playing in the AFC championship game, and this game determines whether that is in Buffalo or Baltimore.
Exactly. And so my whole point is that it's going to bookend the whole season. Exactly what you're saying. Allen has like started slow in previous starts, which I'm sure you can touch on. And Jackson normally comes out absolutely ready to shine and firing. Big King Henry ran for 84 yards and a touchdown in the last Bills matchup.
Like, yeah, it was a second play or something, wasn't he?
He just
Straight out of the
in the last.
Yeah, I remember.
Sorry, hang on, the last in-season matchup.
Yeah. Yes.
That's not their last matchup, the last in-season matchup, which is a point I want to get back to. But yeah, please do go on.
But we've spoke about in our previews about how the Ravens improved like by adding D-Hop to give him a vet, and like they've still got Zay Flowers out there, and then like is it going to be enough to get past this Bills team?
It's almost blowing your mind.
Yeah, you're overwhelmed by this matchup.
Just like,
this is, this stands out, I think, as the best game of this first round. I think it absolutely is. The AGS game of the week. What's interesting about Derrick Henry is if you look at the playoff game in Buffalo, they did a much better job of stopping Derrick Henry. He had some chunk plays, but he was not running all over us the way that he was. And the interesting thing about that round was we did not have Matt Milano at linebacker for that game. One player does not stop Derrick Henry, but I'd be surprised if it goes the same way. We've also added a lot to the D line, and we've got, for the first time in years, we've actually got people we can move around that are better at the run and stopping the run. Joey Bosa coming in for the Bills, and he is healthy and he's happy, and he actually played a lot of games coming home last year for the Chargers. So it's possible that he does stay healthy and he makes a big difference, but he is in good form coming into it. And one thing that's not really talked a lot about the Bills, because they didn't sign any $30 million wide receivers, they've improved their receiver room, and it has gotten definitely better than it was last year. Last year, the Bills had the second highest scoring offense in the league behind the Detroit Lions. So I do think that it's going to be a different story to the in-season game that they played last year. But once again, first game of the season makes it so interesting because you don't know. There's questions over the secondary at the Bills. Christian Benford, he's a top 4 cornerback in the league that no one talks about. And at the end of this season, we'll be talking about him. But on the other side of the field, Tre'Davious White was actually looking pretty good despite his age and despite previous injuries, but he sustained an injury. Will he be back? And that could be really part of the difference if Flowers, for example, can get loose. Also, Isaiah Likely has a really good time against the Bills.
Started well last year too.
That's right. There's a chance that our secondary does struggle a little bit with that. Although I would say Cole Bishop, he was a rookie last year but started the season injured, didn't get as much time on the field. I think he could be doing very well at safety, working with Taylor Rapp in the backfield. So I do think it's not going to be a repeat. And I don't think Derrick Henry is going to go as well as thought. But this could end up actually just being a shootout. And we don't know. Like, it's actually not about the defense. It's about how many points the offense can.
And I think a couple of big difference makers would be your Mark Andrews and your Dalton Kincaid, like the tight end battle. Both the quarterbacks love to hit and love to find that target. Not only is it a safety blanket, but like Kincaid was one of Alan's favourite saga all of last year. But which one of those is going to have a bigger impact? Is Kincaid going to have a bigger impact than Andrews? And that could almost be the decision maker in the game.
They've also got another thing in common. The last play of the season for both players was a drop that decided whether or not they were going to go through in the playoffs. So their last play of the season cost their team going through.
If that doesn't put fire in your belly, I don't know what would.
Yeah, and Mark Andrews, you always talk fantasy. He was a glorified left tackle last year. Like,
yeah,
to start the season was barely getting used. Came into his own a little bit at the end of the season, so it'll be interesting.
He was coming off an injury the year
prior.
Before. Yeah. So it started slow coming off that injury.
But slower than it was 6 weeks before everyone's going off. I didn't know defense was
it's like how much was injury, how much was age. You know, like a lot of older players just take.
And then, like
time to
Isaiah Likely coming through as well, like gave him that extra option. So it's definitely it's a grouse start to the season. We're obviously not going to take your pick because we know who you think. Who and why, mate?
I am going the Bills. I picked the Bills to take out the AFC. So if they're not winning this game, they're not taking out the AFC because I think this is how much of an impact this game has.
I'm going to go with the Ravens because I think they started the season last year against the Chiefs. If you remember, the Isaiah Likely was the toe drag over the end and they didn't give it to him. They lost. I think that kind of really, that's the fire in the belly to be. You guys obviously knocked them off. So I reckon they're going to come in red hot. And I picked them to go pretty deep. So they got to start off, same as you said. They got to start off pretty hot. And this is the game to do it.
It's definitely going to be the game we read too much into after the first week. It's going to be just like, oh, well, the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl, or, oh, well, like, you know, the Bills are cooked, whatever it is. Like, we're going to overly interpret this game.
It's only 1 week, but...
That's right.
But week one is so... Just sitting here doing the research, you're like, we know nothing about anyone. We know what they've done last year, but last year means...
It's a brand new season.
But I think that, like, Danny's point right off the top of talking about this game is spot on. It's great that round one does count.
Yeah.
Part of why the Bengals weren't in the playoffs last year was round one.
Yeah.
It absolutely... And 3 and 4. Yeah. But
the first 6 weeks. Something along those lines.
But it does make a difference. And at the same time, look back over your team's round one games over the last 5 years. They're always a weird anomaly. Your identity of the team isn't set.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts never lost a round one.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
4-0, baby.
Yeah. But, you know, last year the Bills struggled for 3 quarters against the Arizona Cardinals before they it's like they woke up in the third quarter. So anything can happen in round one. Like it is absolutely wide open, particularly a game like that.
There's other games that I've picked that I think definitely ones to keep your eyes on across over the weekend. We've got our DAZN that you can find on our link tree. Definitely get around that because that's 4 games at once.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's the best way, I think, to watch anything. And DAZN have the condensed game. So if you're in a rush, but you still want to watch every single play.
Or you don't want to get up at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, you don't want to get up at 3 in the morning. Maybe you want to get up at 5 and still get all the games in before you go to work. But yeah, if you can watch the condensed game with no ads and it just shows you the main plays without all the other stuff, perfect way of watching.
There's also ESPN Disney Plus has got Red Zone now. So if you have Disney Plus, that's the way. Scott Hansen's elite at what he does. But some games that I think, Charles, the first one I'll throw to you. Pittsburgh at New York Jets, not New Jersey Jets.
It's like the two-way revenge game. It's the Justin Fields revenge game against the Steelers, and if Aaron Rodgers could feel anything, it would be a revenge game against the Jets. And do you know 2 more fascinating people at quarterback for this season and what they are going to do? And the Jets, the big question is, can this roster that everyone's talked about how good that roster is for so many years, Aaron Glenn coaching, is he the missing piece that they needed, or are they still the Jets?
Or are they still? I just love the head-to-head battle. It's such a great way to start. There is something that a good friend of the show, Dan Muggleton, has sent through. He's going to do this quite regularly.
Hello, boys. It is your friendly neighborhood Jets fan here. Look, new year. New hat. Same old Jets. I appreciate you guys being optimistic in the over-under. Taking the over, praising the defense, thinking the new coach is good. I do think the new coach is good, but let's be real. We went all in on Aaron Rodgers, and he ended up making more appearances for Pat McAfee than for us. And now we're trying to believe in Justin Fields. Look, we're in a rebuild. I think that's what they're calling it. But when aren't the Jets in a rebuild? I think the Jets are like a Spanish cathedral. I think it's not finished. It's never going to be finished. But for some reason, they still charge you money to look at it. Bueno.
The second game, Danny Boy, Tampa Bay at Atlanta. I love this game to start the season.
Yeah, two gunslingers going at it. So you got Michael Penix Jr. coming up, who's got named as the starter towards the end of last season, and now we've got Baker Mayfield for Tampa Bay. I just think this one could potentially be a big shootout, and like I'm talking some long yardage on a lot of these passes, which is what we'd love to see. Some big highlight plays is going to be coming out of this game.
And then the Penix Jr. kind of side of things makes it a bit more interesting as well.
Oh, for sure, because Penix Jr. wants to keep this number one spot. Kirk Cousins is nipping at his heels every single game, so if he doesn't come out and start winning, I can see a little switcheroo going on in the quarterback room.
San Fran at Seattle, Charlie.
Great way to open the NFC West, and once again, some big questions over both teams for this year. Was last year an abomination for the Niners? You know, are they going to come back and look a lot more like confident and together as a football team? And the Seattle Seahawks, Sam Darnold as quarterback, can he thrive outside the Vikings? He suffered, like he struggled everywhere else. Was it just Kevin O'Connell that made him a good quarterback, or does he now have the confidence to do it well? It's going to be really interesting to see where both of those teams are at. Once again, a result that will affect what happens. It's a tightly contested division, that NFC West.
And week one games matter.
That's exactly right.
A game that I am obviously going to be watching from start to finish, Detroit at Green Bay. Never has there been a bigger swing in a week one. So Parsons obviously come in, he pushed it up a bit. But when it first came out, 3.5-point favourites, Detroit. Packers are now 3.5-point favourites. So I don't know, that's a big swing.
That is huge.
Like I know people think, 6 points, what a 7 points. That is a touchdown go that way.
Short space of time, yeah.
That's it's probably been about 4 weeks now since those have come out. But Detroit going in and the fact the Packers are favourites is huge.
It's insane, but that just shows the weight that Micah Parsons carries and brings to that team.
Well, we were ahead before. It's gone from 2.5 to 3.5 since he's come in. But we were still ahead. I still don't like them. I don't know if there's something going on at Detroit, but we don't know.
We spoke about the Detroit.
The offensive, defensive.
Yeah, they lost
two new coordinators. That's the big question. But I've read reports about comments made by other coordinators around the league, and no one has necessarily they all actually think the replacements are excellent. They've got great coordinators.
I'd rather be.
But everyone is saying it's interesting.
Yeah, I'd rather be getting him week one.
Yeah.
I think we got to get in week 17,
but also
early.
Fully fit Aiden Hutchinson is no fun at all for anyone to deal with.
Yeah. Hutchinson versus Parsons for the defensive player of the year.
Is Parsons healthy? Is he starting?
Danny, you've come in hot with some.
Yeah, so he's actually suffering an L4, L5 injury, and they're talking about doing an epidural before week one so we can play in week one's game. So if you got that bad of a back injury that you get an epidural, no, you're not 100% healthy, but he wants to play week one. He's wearing number one. He wants to be number one.
First time in 99 years. One at Packers. Huge. I'll be getting it. I love this new jersey that I got here, but I'll be getting it. Last one, Danny boy. Houston at LA.
So the biggest question surrounding this was always going to be Stafford. Once again, another back injury. He was hardly there in preseason. Didn't really do much in training camp. Another person who's signed up to get the epidural on the back, but he is suiting up and he's playing week one.
Well, that gives me confidence with Parsons then. He's fine. He's sweet. This is a null void point.
There's been years of epidural development research going on in the obstetric sector. Yeah. It's about time it came over to sports. It really makes a lot of sense. And let's remember, Matt Stafford isn't just throwing to Puka Nacua. He's also throwing to Devontae Adams. And that is, that's going to be one of the fascinating things to witness in the first week as well, is just how good is that Rams receiving core going to be with McVay is a mad scientist with an offensive scheme. it could be a really red hot offense that we're watching.
I think exactly same could be said for the other side. D'Amico Ryan's third year. Do we see a turnaround from their 10-7 slump? The Texans.
So the fact that the Texans even think that 10-7 was a slump, and so does the whole media world apparently, like that just shows what a strong side their potential is. And the best way of showing that is coming out, going into LA and beating them.
Huge. I think it's another juicy.
Very juicy. My hot take on the Texans is it's going to be a tougher ride than that for the Texans.
I don't know.
It might just be a slow start.
Charles, this is where we say goodbye to you. New segment that me and Danny Boy get to host.
My contractual obligations at the ABC prevent me from participating in the next part of the conversation, but cannot wait to do the next episode where we look back on this
Week
round
one
and process everything that happened. This is what we live for. Can't wait for it. So enjoy the sins of gambling. I'll see you in the next episode, guys.
Welcome to 2025, though, mate.
Yeah.
So now that Dad's away, I guess the boys can play.
Boys can definitely play. Danny Boy, we do have a new segment. It's brought to us by our good friends at Unibet. They've jumped on board this year, and where it's most exciting, Danny Boy, is whatever we talk about, a lot of it you'll be able to just go on to the actual Unibet website or Unibet app and get it's the AGS.
Yeah, so it's in their featured section of their app. It's pretty clear. It's one of the first drop down boxes that you'll see, and it's called the AGS Podcast Bet Zone. So any of our bets that we chuck up on there, you'll be able to get straight on and just literally mimic and follow them. Just we're taking all the pressure off you having to do all the searching, and because that's what we're here for. We're going to do all of that for you to make it as easy as possible. Yeah. But help us hopefully win a couple of dollar dues this year.
Yeah, talk about units and everything like that. So we've got a little bit of competition between ourselves. So we've got two bets that we're going to do that'll go up each week. The first one is the first down, move the chains. That'll come out of a Friday or for the Friday game. We want to see who wins.
Yeah,
out of the season.
So that first bet, first down, pretty easy to get. So it's just going to be a nice short one. We're not going to do anything odds over $3. So it's just hopefully start the week off strong. We take a little bit for the pocket and then have some more money to play with for the rest of the weekend.
The second one, which I'll be having this week, will come out at the later games, is the Hail Mary. Obviously, we've won in our first move the chains. Then we've got a bit of playtime after that. So that'll come out later in the week. But
the best part about that is you and I are going to do a competition against one another. So one week, one of us is going to have the first down bet. The other one's going to have the Hail Mary. Then we're going to alternate every single week. And we're going to see who ends up out.
Yeah, we'll keep a little ladder.
We'll keep a tally, and then we'll probably throw a budgie bet somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's it. So your bird's first up, mate. So you took the first down.
Yeah, I did take the first down bet. And I'll put something together. Like I said, it's a nice short one. It's a little same-game multi, just 3 legs. The first leg is Jalen Hurts to rush for 20 yards. We've seen Micah Parsons is no longer there. I feel like he's easily going to get a couple of QB sneaks. Barkley's going to be the biggest distraction, so Hurts is just going to run through for a couple. And if he is going to run through for a couple, there's probably going to be a push-tush, so I've chucked him in there for a little TD as well. And we spoke about off the top of the episode that A.J. Brown hasn't had a first game week 1 where he hasn't got 75-plus yards. I've dropped it all the way to 50 to make sure we win this. And so that same game multi is paying $2.55 for our first down that we're going to get. We're going to move those chains and we're going to cash that slip.
And so you also have the choice with this one. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to either boost it by, you'll get your 10% boost if you haven't used it, or there's an NFL pretty much free swing. If you miss it, you'll get it back. So that also makes a nice little easier bet for yourself. The other thing that we have to talk about is we've put up a little betting. It's almost a bonanza, isn't it? Just a whole heap of different bets that we've come across during our preview episodes that we really like. They're long-term bets, but, mate, get around them early.
Yeah, so it's a way that we can celebrate week 1 with some exciting things that you got to look for to follow for the whole season. And the first one that we're going to touch on is that Aiden Hutchinson is actually going to come out and have the most sacks. And because he's doing that, he's going to win Comeback Player of the Year. So thanks to Unibet, they've combined that for us, and that's going to be paying $11.
So I like this second one. I come up with this one. Joe Burrow had, I think it was 43 touchdowns last year. He was on. There was a couple in the, high 30s. But I think we can go all out this year. Either a QB to throw 45 or 50 touchdowns. If you think that's juicy, 45's paying 6. 50's paying more. I think it's up to 11. I don't have it on me at the moment, which was bad form by me. But yeah, I think we're going to get a Peyton Manning type 50, like 50 touchdown season. If you think the same, $11 is pretty juicy.
So juicy. And also, it's an exciting thing to be cheering for. So there's any one player to throw for that many touchdowns. Moving back onto the defensive side of the ball, we've got any player to have 10 plus defensive interceptions, and that's paying $3.50. So that one's quite a nice little safe on there, but it's also exciting. We want to see these cornerbacks and these safeties doing well and ripping those balls away.
Yeah, I think we had one or two that actually got that mark last year. So 350, and it's not guaranteed, but we've got some gunslingers in this league, mate. We're going to get some interceptions. Any player to have 20 plus total touchdowns, so that's either receiving or rushing, paying $4.
That seems far too juicy. Surely that is an easy possibility for them to get. And one of those people who could potentially be doing that is actually in our next little bit. So Jamar Chase to record the most receiving yards and Joe Burrow to record the most passing yards. So the two clearly go hand in hand. This is a little bit of quarterback season 2. We love watching 100%. Joey B. Their offense wasn't their issue. It was the Bengals defense that really let them down. So the offense is going to come out and keep on firing. They're going to be hungrier than ever because they want to make it back to the playoffs. Like if it's playoffs or bust for them. So for Joey B to throw the most, Jamar Chase to receive the most, that's paying $7.50.
That's juicy. I like that. I am all over. After watching QB2, I am all over that one for sure. Mate, that's our first little bet zone done. We're going to, every week we'll have something that'll go up. Like you said, it's in the specials market of Unibet. It's surprisingly easy to find. You can also find it when you go into actually the American football thing there. It'll be up there any given Sunday bets, mate. Get around it.
It's the best way that we can start this season. So excited to start week 1. Go Birds.